needs us now. Every day, we lose more lands, waters, and the wild species that depend on them. To learn more, visit nature.org today.
Watch That's What Carl Says Wednesdays on 19 News.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Sarah Blakely. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News, a newer emergency feature on some iPhones. We take a closer look at how it sends alerts to first responders no matter where an incident occurs. Plus, legislation aimed at financially supporting public safety has failed in the State House. Why nearly half of legislators voted against it. And Northern Michigan University opens a new behavioral sciences and health center on campus. We'll show you what services it offers. Your 19 News starts now.
Live from the UP, this is WZMQ 19 News at 6.
Marquette Mountain is officially 1 month away from its projected season opening. General Manager Kate Johnson told us the projected opening date for skiers is Saturday, December 2nd. But of course, Mother Nature will have a lot to say about that. Marquette Mountain's location is subject to humidity from Lake Superior compared with ski resorts in the western part of our region. The air there tends to be cooler and drier. Meanwhile, Ski Brule has started making snow operations this week. The Ski Brule website has a targeted opening date of November 10th. A different story for us today, though, Air. We had some sunshine. Are we expecting more snow anytime soon?
I don't think we're going to be snowmobiling anytime soon here, but Carl was telling me that some of his friends were doing that in Berglund the other day with those 12 inches. But we're going to have a fairly calm evening. Those clouds increasing tonight on this Dia de los Muertos, and those temperature lows should be a little bit warmer than what we've been seeing the past couple of evenings. But I don't see any snow or rain in the forecast here until Friday morning. And then we are looking at mid-November. It's expected to be dry and cool for that extended forecast. Your full forecast, though, coming up after.
Thank you very much, Ariane. Also, a popular loop around Marquette's Presque Isle Park was officially closed to cars for the season on Tuesday. The closure happened when the snow started to fall, but the Parks and Rec Department for the city of Marquette says the normal seasonal closing is November 1st, so the closure was only a day early. The seasonal road isn't plowed during the winter, and some of the hills in the area can become dangerous for cars.
Snows, then it's really a dangerous situation, especially on the north side of the island where there's a significant hill leading down to Black Rocks. Some people could easily slide down that hill in a vehicle. So out of abundance caution, we close the road every year.
The loop will still be open to bikers and walkers throughout the winter. The Parks Department wants to remind visitors to be careful around the ledges and cliffs, and that dogs still aren't allowed in the park. We're learning new details tonight about an emergency feature on Apple iPhones. As recently as earlier this week in the UP, an iPhone automatically alerted emergency services that the phone's owner was in a car crash and not responding to their phone. This is a newer feature that the iPhone has, which has already shown that it can help first responders locate and treat individuals that may be incapacitated. Unlike traditional cell phone coverage, this safety feature can work almost anywhere that an incident occurs, because it doesn't rely on cell towers.
Coverage, I'm not going to say is 100%, but it's very close. And it just uses satellite. So as long as you have a clear view to the sky, so you're out in the wilderness, there's a great chance that's going to be able to connect and help you out.
The feature is free, but is currently only available on iPhone models 14 or later that are updated to iOS 16 or higher. Android is working on similar features to be released soon. In Lansing, legislation that would create a fund to support public safety organizations has failed in the House today. With over 50 votes completed this week, a bill introduced by Democrats to create a public safety and violence prevention fund was rejected at 52 to 51 votes. 4 Democrats had yet to cast votes after 20 minutes when the vote was finally counted, and the bill failed because 7 members abstained from voting. Republicans cited concerns that the language of the bill was too vague. Representatives say they wouldn't support the bill unless it specifies that funds are only to be used by law enforcement and not for other public safety measures.
We wanted to narrow it down a bit, and with law enforcement across the Upper Peninsula, they travel long distances, a lot of time on the road, and they go through a lot of funding. So it's important to make sure that that money goes to where it belongs.
Coming up tonight at 11:10 Central, we'll have more from legislators about that fund and if they expect to see the bills return for another vote. Northern Michigan University students and staff are celebrating a milestone in NMU's Psychological Sciences Department. NMU officially cut the ribbon on its Behavioral Education Assessment and Research, or BEAR Center. The new center will provide hands-on experience for NMU students while also providing important behavioral health services to the community. The center's director says the new building shows just how far the university has come.
7 years have been a whirlwind. We started in a room with a couple of families and a table I bought from Walmart, and now we have an entire building. And I'm really excited for the future of the Bear Center.
Sounds good.
For more information about the services provided at the Bear Center, just visit WZMQ19.com. NMU students had a chance to put their talents on display at Ford Field in Detroit today. Communication and Media Studies majors attended the Michigan Association of Broadcasters Great Lakes Broadcast and Sports Media Academy. Professionals from around the state were there to network and provide guidance to young journalists. The trip also provided an opportunity for NMU to highlight the opportunities right here in the UP.
Students show up at the table very interested and want to learn more about Northern Michigan University, and of course we are not shy at all about telling them about the opportunities and the way that we can help them get to wherever they want to be in the media industry.
Students at the Academy will attend the NMU alumni event at the Red Wings game on Saturday. Your first warning weather forecast is coming up after this short break. Plus, the UP State Fairgrounds are being taken over by hunters. A preview of this weekend's Ice Fishing and Hunting Expo. And later, federal lawmakers and the Biden administration focus on addressing the fentanyl crisis, how they're hoping to crack down on illicit drugs. We're back in 2 minutes.
19 News is brought to you by Dan Perkins Construction.
When you put on a product this nice, you want to sing it from the rooftops. You know my roof's good looking, will last the rest of your life. Each day I go to work thinking, we're doing this right. Buy a roof for me and I think you'll see you'll be happy as a gherkin. 'Cause we do it right and we're really polite. Take it from me, Dan Perkins. You try rhyming something with Perkins.
New CBS tonight.
Here they come! The final Buddy Games battle.
We're that much closer to $200,000. This is what we came here for.
Yes! 3 teams go head to head.
Losing is not an option.
In the most grueling,
everything's on the line right now.
Most intense game this competition has seen yet. You are the Buddy Games champion!
The season finale of Buddy Games tonight at 8/7 Central on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
Superior Collision is seeking a certified auto body technician for full-time employment. Qualified candidates can call or apply in person, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Monday through Friday.
John's Auto has big removed. And it's still John's Auto, which means great clean cars and great service. Come see for yourself. John's Auto Marquette.
Mike Baxter.
How do you kill an elk?
Wait outside the lodge until last call, then hit it with a tire iron. Pioneer.
I have a 60-year-old truck with a 30-year-old marriage.
I am stuck in my old ways.
I do love that truck.
Last man standing.
BTV decodes the Andy Griffith Show.
It sure was slicker than a firehouse pole the way you took us all in.
That means you were very clever pulling a scheme on us. See if you can decode the Andy Griffith Show.
Weeknights at 8. Now, WZMQ 19 News First Warning Weather with Ariane Stasek.
I hope you were able to get outside and possibly enjoy this slight warm up. If not, maybe at least seeing it out a window. We saw a high of 44 out at the National Weather Service, not quite hitting that 70-degree record, but we'll take it. UP temps right now still in that range, 35 to 45 degrees. We'll stick with that for the next couple of days. Those lows, though, we could see them in the 30s. As you can see right here, some freezing temperatures there in Iron Mountain or Iron River and Ironwood. We've got a calm, chill night ahead. You might need that umbrella or rain jacket tomorrow. We're expecting mostly cloudy skies and then chances of precipitation. Most of that is going to be rain showers, but we could see a wintry mix. I'll show you where in just a minute. And then for the evening, partly cloudy skies up north for the most part along Lake Michigan. We'll expect clearer conditions. Right now, though, those winds coming out of the south, we are expecting, of course, gusts. Most of that, though, later on in the evening and then on our Friday. Take a look here. Friday morning, midday, those winds changing direction coming out of the northwest area, and of course a lot of those heavy wind or heavy speeds there all along the Keweenaw Peninsula, and even over here in Munising where we could see about 27 miles an hour there midday. But we are not really seeing any rain or snow at the moment. I don't know if you're excited or not excited about that. I am definitely not ready to get that snowblower running. Okay, taking a look, we've got cloud coverage increasing this evening, especially around 10 o'clock when things take over here. 6 a.m. we could see some rain showers in Iron County making its way eastward here by early in the morning, mid-morning, 9 a.m., 10 a.m., and then by 1 p.m. that mixed precipitation possible in South Houghton County as well as Baraga and Marquette counties. We could see that in the early afternoon hours there before things kind of clear up for the evening. So we could see some very chilly temperatures that night. And then Saturday morning through the afternoon, we'll expect some sunshine to return. And then we could have precipitation returning on Sunday. Let's take a look at our 7-day as we've got those mid-40s here in Sunday till about Sunday. Clock's back, my friends, fall back, 30% chance of showers in the afternoon, and then we are likely to see that rain returning on our Monday. And then just a reminder, Election Day on Tuesday. Ice fishing and hunting expo, that is going on in Escanaba this weekend around 3 p.m. That temp should be about 47 degrees, 8 p.m. around 39. And then looking at Saturday and Sunday, similar temperatures. We're going to start cool and a little bit warmer as those events wrap up. But we will be there this weekend as well.
That's right, Ariane. Thank you very much. This weekend, a first-of-its-kind UP event returns to Escanaba. The Daily Press is hosting the 2nd annual UP Ice Fishing and Hunting Expo at the UP State Fairgrounds Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 55 vendors began setting up their displays today, which includes guns and knives, fishing bait and tackle, ice shacks, and other outdoorsman equipment. The Daily Press publisher says the first expo was so successful, and with even more to see and do this year, she is expecting it to be bigger and better.
About 4,500 people over the 3-day event come in through the doors, and a lot of the vendors sold out. The Boy Scouts are running the minnow races. We'll have a lot of prizes for kids, and we're also raffling off some Bark River knives. So we're super excited. It's going to grow more and more every year.
The UP Ice Fishing and Hunting Expo is free to attend. WZMQ 19 is a sponsor of this year's expo, and station staff will be at our booth all 3 days, and we will be live there tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Our 19 News Insights is on the way next. We're joined by the Marquette Women's Center to learn all about how it's celebrating 50 years of service in the community. That conversation is just 2 minutes away.
The wait is over. England Furniture's quick shipping is back at Kirkish Furniture. Choose your style and fabric and receive your furniture in as little as 30 days. Browse our in-stock selection or let our staff help you customize the perfect sofa or chair. Plus, 1 year free financing and free delivery.
Need to get from point A to point B quickly, efficiently, safely? The Marquette County Transit Authority is your ticket to ride. Friendly drivers operate clean, blue and white buses throughout Marquette County 365 days a year. Seniors 60 plus ride free every Wednesday. For information about routes and tickets, click on marktran.com. We keep you moving. Marquette Transit.
Tonight, hundreds of Americans are finally allowed to evacuate Gaza. So where do they go now? Then they typically would struggle to find work, but they got a chance to rewrite their lives. And the Beatles released new music with a little help from AI on the CBS Evening News.
10 million people call Michigan home. The state capital since 1847 is in Lansing, and decisions made in this building affect you and the Upper Peninsula. I'm WZMQ 19 Sophia Murphy, uncovering what's really happening here every day, tracking issues about your health and the environment, taxes and roads, schools and safety. Reports direct from the Capitol, only on your WZMQ 19 News.
Sophia Murphy, reporting live from Lansing, exclusively on 19 News.
I'm Lily Simmons. Watch my reports from Escanaba and Delta County only on WZMQ 19 News.
Pictionary here on WZMQ TV 19.
Saturday night at 6 on MeTV 19.1. You're watching the award-winning WZMQ 19 News, live and local with Sarah Blakely.
A Marquette organization is celebrating 50 years of helping survivors of domestic abuse and violence. The Women's Center is marking the anniversary with a special event honoring community heroes this Saturday. Joining us tonight is the Executive Director, Janine Frazier. Thanks for coming in, Janine.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Of course. So tell us a little bit about some of the services that the Women's Center provides.
Sure. So the Women's Center has all kinds of community programs and services that support and protect survivors of domestic and sexual violence. So we have a harbor house, which is our shelter, and then we also have all kinds of services. So we have counseling, we have special therapy for anybody that is a survivor of sexual or domestic violence. And then we have all kinds of advocacy empowerment. So we have legal aid that can help people talk about and help them do PPOs, personal protection orders. We have advocates that can help with housing, specialists that do that, education, all sorts of things. Whatever is needed, we are here to help survivors.
Yeah. Something that I had heard recently, someone had said, they said, you know, before domestic violence was given a word, domestic violence existed. And 50 years is a long time to be serving in this community. I know you're still relatively new at the Women's Center. How have things kind of progressed over the years at the Women's Center?
Well, that's going to be one of the really interesting things about our event coming up, because we are going to talk a little bit about the historical significance of the Women's Center and how it all started. So we have our founding mothers who are going to be honorees at this event, and they really paved the way for women's rights and then ensured and created programs for domestic violence and sexual assault. So that is very significant. And then the other thing that we're doing is honoring a lot of other partners, organizations, and just extraordinary people that have spent and dedicated their lives to making sure that our community has these services.
Yeah. So let's get into the details of what's happening on Saturday. Give us the times and location and all the good stuff happening at the Heroes Gala.
Sure. So we have, we're celebrating our 50th anniversary. The theme is a Heroes Gala brunch, and we picked that theme because everybody loves brunch, but also because it's an opportunity for us to be able to say thank you to all these amazing people who have helped us through the years. So we're really excited to do that. It's this Saturday, November 4th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Awesome. How do people get tickets to that?
Okay, so they can go on our website, which has so much information on there, not just about this event, but also information about domestic violence and sexual assault, plus our support line that people can call if they need it. And then they can also go to our Facebook page and Eventbrite to buy tickets.
Gotcha. Is this something that's open to everybody? Like anybody can come and celebrate with you guys?
Yes, we're very happy to have anybody that is interested in the Women's Center and what we do protecting survivors of domestic and sexual violence come and support us. We absolutely cannot wait for this Saturday to be able to honor all these extraordinary people.
Yeah. As someone who leads the Women's Center, how do you feel about marking 50 years of helping women and their families and children through these horrible crimes that happen?
Right. And I think, you know, we're just truly inspired when we look back at the history of all the things that all these individuals and organizations have given to making sure that our community has these services, that there is hope, that there is somebody there, that there's always somebody there, that we're there for them, you know, and making sure that that's in our community for anybody in their greatest time of need. Yeah. I think that's really absolutely extraordinary. And so that's why we really want to say thank you to everybody that has been involved in supporting the Women's Center.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, Janine, thank you so much for sharing tonight. We really appreciate it.
Okay, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Yeah. Still ahead tonight, addressing the fentanyl crisis in the U.S., how federal lawmakers and the Biden administration are cracking down on illicit drugs. And later, there are signs that inflation is improving, but it's not having much impact on car prices. Why analysts say prices are still so high. But first, here's your Upers United Volunteer Opportunity of the Day. UP Home Health and Hospice has an ongoing need for volunteers for its Dottie's Vigil initiative. During times that a patient doesn't have family or friends there, Vigil volunteers are available to provide support and companionship any time of the day or night. To sign up to be a volunteer for this or check out other volunteer opportunities, just head on over to upersunited.com.
We've got a lot of news coming up. Our Eye on America tonight from North Carolina. We go to a pen manufacturing plant where blind employees are getting incredible opportunities to write their own story. That's tonight on the CBS Evening News.
News CBS 4.
NCIS. As the SEALs say, the only easy day was yesterday.
Sounds like it's out of country still.
Your team protects U.S. Navy assets in this country.
Murder on the high seas.
NCIS!
This country is something else. With a great cap comes great responsibility.
NCIS Sydney, Tuesday, November 14th on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
Turn up the heat with early bird holiday hot deals at Menards. All prices after 11% rebate. Cozy up. Kids and ladies socks are $4.99 a pair, and assorted dog sweaters are just $3.99. Aromatherapy animals are only $6.88. Get sizzling savings. This multi-cooker is only $35.59, and this flat iron gas griddle just $179.99. Other stores have this patio heater for $159.99, but it's Menards' hottest deal at just $69.99. Don't miss out. The early bird gets the deal.
Save big money at Menards.
Alfonso Ribeiro and I are onto something.
I don't know if it's true, but I still think Tom Jones is black.
I say it all the time!
And his name is Jones. Come on. Tom, come clean, dog.
Plus, she transformed her classroom into a trip of a lifetime on The Jennifer Hudson Show.
The Jennifer Hudson Show, tomorrow at 5 on WZMQ TV CBS, followed by 19 News at 6.
What do you do when your tire goes flat and there's no air anywhere? You reach for Bullseye Pro, the smarter, faster, hands-free way to fill it up with air. Bullseye Pro is equipped with a rechargeable power plant, smart pressure sensor, and custom nozzles. It's like the power of an air compressor in the palm of your hand. Get your complete Bullseye Pro inflation system for just $79.99 and get free shipping. Plus, we'll give you a 50% discount on a second one. Order now.
Every day, about 300 Americans lose their life to a drug overdose. That's one life every 5 minutes. This week, the Biden administration called on lawmakers, saying Congress has no time to waste in delivering on the president's funding request to provide treatment and crack down on the flow of illicit drugs. WZMQ's Washington, D.C. correspondent Brendan Scanlon has details on what the Biden administration is asking for just ahead of the government funding deadline.
President Biden is looking to Congress to approve emergency supplemental funding requests, including $1.2 billion to combat the flow of fentanyl at the southern border. The dollars would help hire more border agents and install high-tech scanners that can detect fentanyl at ports of entry.
Providing 123 new large-scale scanners that will help our law enforcement officials screen exponentially more vehicles and stop illicit drugs like fentanyl from coming into the country.
Senator Bob Casey is calling on his colleagues to support the investments and believes the U.S. can go even further by passing legislation like the Fend Off Fentanyl Act,
which is a bipartisan bill to choke off the income sources of these chemical suppliers in China and the Mexican drug cartels that produce and bring fentanyl across the border.
Casey and White House officials are also urging Congress to approve an emergency supplemental funding request to help states like Michigan fight the crisis.
As a doctor, I cannot underscore enough
just how important these critical public health funds are.
White House Drug Policy Advisor Dr. Rahul Gupta says the administration is also pushing for $1.5 billion in opioid response grants to help states provide treatment and life-saving equipment like naloxone.
This means that states will be better equipped to expand access to treatment. States will be able to have more overdose prevention measures in communities to prevent the loss of life.
According to Gupta, states have purchased 9 million overdose reversal kits using the grant dollars and reversed over 500,000 overdoses. Reporting in Washington, Brendan Scanlon, WZMQ 19 News.
All signs are pointing toward a happy 2023 holiday season for retailers and their customers. The National Retail Federation predicts holiday spending will hit record levels during November and December, 3 to 4% higher than last year. Economists say this year's anticipated holiday sales growth marks a return to pre-pandemic levels. The NRF says online spending will continue to outpace in-person shopping and that gift cards and experiences will be more popular than gifts people unwrap. Additionally, retailers are expected to hire up to 450,000 seasonal workers. That's about 60,000 more people than they brought on seasonally last year. The inflation rate is significantly down from last year's peak, but prices for many goods are much higher than just a few years ago. As Christine Lazar tells us, that's making it difficult for many buyers to find an affordable car.
Customers headed to used car lots are still experiencing a sense of sticker shock, including Anthony Aceto, who hit a roadblock when shopping for a SUV.
Have you seen any good deals?
Not really. But we need a new car. Ours is falling apart.
Even though used car prices are down from a year ago, they are still way higher than pre-pandemic levels, up nearly 48% since 2019. Carl Brower with auto sales site I See Cars says it dates back to the pandemic-related supply chain issue that led to a new car shortage.
Now, those new cars are used cars. Those are limited in the used car space. So it's just maintaining these high used car prices.
The biggest price hikes are among some of the most popular cars on the market. The Ram 1500 pickup is $15,000 more expensive than in 2019. The Toyota Camry is up $8,000.
At that rate, when you're paying so much for a used car, does it in some instances make sense to just buy a new car then?
In many instances for buyers, depending on their budget and what they really need, a new car does make more sense.
That's because the typical loan rate for a new car is 7.4%, much lower than a used car. But new cars are more expensive overall, with an average price of just under $48,000. Experts say buyers who want a good deal need to be flexible. Being willing to choose from a wide range of vehicles will give you more power to negotiate.
Buying an electric car is getting cheaper. Kelley Blue Book says prices are down about 20% from a year ago, and many buyers can qualify for federal incentives that can provide tax breaks of up to $7,500 for a new car. We'll be cooling down as the night comes as usual, but we won't be quite as cold as last night. Ariane has the outlook on the way.
We've been a big part of a lot of community events. You know, we've been to a lot of festivals, parades, the UP 200, the Meyer State Games. Which one has been your favorite?
I gotta say, okay, first of all, the Upper spirit, right? Yeah. Dedication, care, humor, and then that grit. And watching all of these events being put together and the volunteers, it's just been incredible, especially with the UP 200 having to pivot.
Yeah.
And that was my favorite because of how they were able to do that, but also the fact that they put snow on 3rd Street and we got to go sledding down there. That was my favorite. What about you?
I would agree with that. I mean, just the Festival of the Sled Dog was really cool to see because it was that Upper spirit of it doesn't matter if someone's going to knock us down, we're just going to keep going. And I think it was really cool for us to be a part of that too because it was right in front of our studios. Yes. I mean, we just had to walk out our front door basically and we could be right there at the festival. And I think that's really another cool thing about being right downtown is everything kind of does happen right at our front doorstep. And it's exciting not only as a news station, but as someone who lives here. It's exciting to have such easy access to these festivals and events and the Blueberry Festival and the Farmers Market.
That was my second one, was the Wednesday night Farmers Market and seeing all that local produce and products. especially those smash burgers.
The smash burgers were just delightful.
Attention people with Medicare and anyone turning 65. If you have original Medicare, you may be able to get a Medicare Advantage plan with additional benefits. Medicare Advantage plans may include vision coverage, wellness visits, gym membership, meal delivery, and hearing coverage with affordable costs and copay. The call is free. You may even find plans with $0 monthly premiums or $0 copays on certain services or $0 deductibles. Call 800-965-7893 and let Best Medcare do the work for you.
Most of our current temps in that 40-degree range. We'll expect those clouds moving in around 10, 11 o'clock this evening, taking over mostly cloudy skies. And then tomorrow, you might want to send your student with an umbrella. There is a chance of that, about 20% chance of that. Those temps, though, really cold in the morning, about 33 degrees and around 42 in the afternoon. 7-day outlook for Escanaba. We're drying up. We do have likely showers next week.
We'll see you back here tonight at 11:10 Central.
Tonight, the